The most common concept of the great reality is that of a creator. Most people can only think of a creator as doing something, so they picture their gods as creating and managing the places they live and all they can see, far out into the vast space above the earth where their gods live. People are obliged by the urge of their minds to account for the things as they find them, at least to try. And the natural conclusion is that some power created them. It has always been a wonder if man created God or if his God created him. The historical events that have taken place through time prove that man created his God or gods. But then again, it has been the idea of men that God created them. Compared to reality, both history and logic are unreliable. The gods that have been created were from the imagination of those that have put forth the imagery of what a god should be. The religions of the world have represented their gods to be like man in character. If you are to study the real side of history and the true facts of events, you would see that there have always been those who have been busy constructing these gods within the human side. The worldly scriptures, which have been written for the sake of coercion, for the most part, imply that God created man in his own image, and then man seems to flatter himself that his God is not greatly superior to him. The world is full of gods who claim to be related to man in image and likeness. There are many gods, and too much battling because of them. The real question is what each person means by the word God. Everyone has their own definition, which seems to suit them, and this can be fine because each person has a right to decide for themselves what life is to them. Of course, all ideas from humans have nothing to do with the true reality it is. Through a little bit of research, you will find that the priests of the church do not know the subject they are delivering to their followers when it comes to the highest of all realities. The religions of the world have used their saviors and saints as their gods. They have given them the characteristic will of divine qualities that are equal to their original God. For the most part, the average person cannot think of anything being above himself. So through the course of time, people have invented their own God according to what they want him to be. Most people want God that is always on demand, so that whatever they decide in their lives, all they have to do is petition their invented God, and he should answer, and not, if not, that's okay too. The idea of praying to a God in the sky somewhere is simply a projection of an idea into the mental and the subconscious body and having it return to the sender. This is the basic idea of what all followers of some sort of system do with those that are higher in knowledge than themselves. The real guides who have been known to mankind at times will have certain qualifications that others do not. They have longevity, omnipotence, and the ability to be in any world or level of the unseen worlds, and have the great protection of the ALLLISSS, which most cannot comprehend. All of this goes along with the great wisdom, attainment, and freedom they have. No one has ever gained real wisdom, purity, and real freedom by the process of what the produced scriptures have displayed. These material tools can be a sort of essential to the fundamental beginning and understanding of real experience, but they can never be a substitute for anything real, according to what the institutions of the earth have demonstrated. The methods employed by most of the belief systems are some sort of ancient rewritten documentation that is mere fragments from the original presentation of the deliverer. The real guides may submit written information from time to time, but they always point to the real awareness of each individual and what is taking place within themselves. They teach a person how to get their wisdom through the real connection of sound and light, which is sight and hearing. After any proposition has been approved to be true, the real guides establish no authority except that of truth itself. They know that any authority hampers real truth and interferes with any free investigation and any real progress that can be made. For those of an intellectual nature, real truth may not seem to be apparent. But to those that are simpler in their common sense of life and naturally savvy, they usually pick up their understanding of what the real guides are teaching, and rather quickly.